Hi, Virgo, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your March 7th to the 16th, 2022 money and career reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So let's see what the tarot has to say. All right. So we have Temperance, which is Sagittarius energy, and we have the Wheel of Fortune. So what is happening is we're finding balance once again, and things are changing. It's almost like the Wheel of Fate has been changed, has been turned, and we're seeing ourselves move forward. But we're also seeing our angels, and feeling, actually more than seeing, our angels untangle a lot of the messes that have been a part of our life for a really long time. And it's almost like a breath of release. It's like, oh, okay. And we're finding balance. We're finding harmony. We're seeing balance for ourselves again. And that's going to be really empowering. Now let's look at the energy we have to be mindful of during this time. So this is the Death card. This is Scorpio energy. But there's also a sense of words from the past that haunt us. Something that haunts us, that keeps in our head, that makes us think that we can't move forward. That's going to be something that we have to be very mindful of during this time. Or somebody brings up all the time a mistake that we made or a slip that we did. So just be mindful of that's a real form of manipulation, and that we're needing to break free of that during this time. So let's see here, our chakra energy. The I Am Presence. This is one of my absolute favorite cards. It is the Crown Chakra, and this is the presence within our own lives. I am powerful, successful, abundant, or I am overworked, underappreciated, tired, overwhelmed. So here it's really looking at that inner narrative and being really aware of it during this time, because we're a bit badass during this time. We are a bit like, I can do it and I will be doing it. And that's going to be really quite thrilling for us. So let's see here. Let's go deeper. Ooh. All of this. No. Okay. So this and these two. Okay. That makes sense. And this on the bottom. Okay. So then we have the Seven of Cups, the Page of Swords, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, the Eight of Cups, the Page of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, the Four of Pentacles, the Ten of Swords, and the Two of Swords. Can you see all that? Oh, I hope so. Okay, so what we have here is definitely we're starting off with vampiric energy that has drained us for a really long time. Now, this could be that we are giving too much to our work. We're too open, we're not grounding ourselves properly, and we can feel drained. We can just feel drained when we walk in the door or when we turn on the computer. So being very mindful of this during this time, that somebody is ciphering our energy away, and we have to reclaim it, and we have to balance ourselves because of it. There is something here where we've been facing these battles before, but now we are resurrecting, right? We have the darkness before the dawn. We have this something that we're going through that is unpleasant. This person that we're dealing with that is unpleasant. We don't like it. We've seen their type before. We're like, I'm not fooled by you type of thing, but our arsenal of how to deal with the situation is so much greater than what it was. Also, we're not backed into a corner. So that's really good for us. But be mindful of the draining energy, because it can be like, oh my gosh, I just can't do this. Doors start to open. Like, we always thought it was one of two ways. We always thought, oh, I had to do A or B, or like, I would go this way or I would go that way, this way of looking at things. And now new avenues are opening to us where it's like, I never thought, like, I never thought I could do this, or I never thought I could move that way. There's a message that's coming to us. We have to be, ooh, goodness. We have to be receptive to it. Now, this is something that's going to come our way. Now, this is something that somebody's going to say, and they're going to kind of like quote our grandma or grandpa or our parents or somebody who, I don't know if they passed or we haven't seen them a lot, but there is some sort of message coming through. Now, this person can contact us out of the blue. We could have a dream about them type of deal. There's a message that's coming that we need to be aware of. It's telling us that it's time to leave something. It's telling us that, like, it's time to walk away. And they'll make it clear what it's time to walk away from. But there's something here about an ending and also creating more distinct barriers. And as we do this, it leads us towards what we really want, and they know what we really want already. So there's something in here that comes forward that way. And as it comes forward, it leads us to our dreams, to what we really want, but it also leads us to our passion and what we desire. And they're going to give us a message with that as well. Now, I do see it as kind of like all linked in the same dream, or all coming through in the same way. Like somebody says something and all of a sudden, like in our mind's eye, we're just, or we smell something. It's a message that brings with it a very visual, like, I'm back in another place type of thing. And it shows us what we wanted when we were small. It shows us what we wanted when this person could, because they could see what really we were passionate about, what really we desired. And that's going to be so important for us because it brings back that passion. It brings back that place of being. And it's like, oh, I found myself again. It's like, oh, I lost track or sight of that. So that's going to be really quite interesting, really quite beautiful. So let's see here. Ooh, okay. Temperance again. So we have a repeat of that balancing energy. Also a repeat of Sagittarius energy coming in. The Six of Wands, a celebration of the self. The Ace of Swords, there's a knowledge coming in. It's going to lead to justice. Now, justice is also Libra energy, but there is a sense of clarity coming in through God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe. And this clarity comes in. It comes in through our connection, through that dream, through that insight that comes forward, through that way of like, oh, that's what I was missing. So there is the fact that we take this gift, most definitely. Do we feel like we take this gift, or do we feel like we have the clarity that we actually have? No, we're not going to. There's still going to be a questioning, a doubting, a fearing that we need to look at, understand, and really be open and honest about for ourselves. And as we're moving towards what we want, as we're moving towards what's important to us, there's going to be a sense of, wow, I've broken down a lot of barriers. And as this comes forward, the Six of Wands is saying to us, celebrate yourself. Celebrate yourself as there's balance, as there's harmony, as there's insight, as there's determination, as there's focus. But there's also a sense here that as we celebrate ourselves and we find that grounding, we find that footing, we're really helping to evolve ourselves. Like there's some sort of evolution of ourselves that's coming forward. We have to be discerning about the energy that we let in and the energy that we refuse to be a part of our lives. So there is a sense here with justice. It's like, be just to yourself. It isn't necessarily going to be saying the right thing at the right time to the right person and being fair to absolutely everyone, because that's not going to work. Somebody is always going to be ticked off. There's going to be a sense here of be as fair as you possibly can. But in the end, stay to your morals, stay to your principles, stay to what is right, and find that balancing of the scales, because it moves us here. Because it's like we're reconnecting with something. We're reconnecting with what we lost. We're reconnecting with something that we thought, oh no, that's just not possible anymore. And it moves us forward to a new, way of seeing things, but a new road to walk down, a new avenue of success, prosperity. And it brings us then to strength to Leo energy and the Eight of Swords. So it can be, now, it can be that somebody's very bossy, getting in our own heads. This can be a Leo energy, most definitely. But this is going to be somebody who can be very bossy, very authoritative, getting in our head, making us doubt ourselves. But there's also a strength in a new alignment, in a new way of looking at things, and we're actually finding the strength to get out of our own way, to get out of our own head. We're overthinking, we're overanalyzing something, and because we're overdoing it, it's kind of like when you're kneading dough. You knead it too much, and then it won't rise properly. So just be aware. It's kind of like we're overworking a situation that's really going to start to hold us back because we're thinking about it too much. It's taking up too much of our time, too much of our energy. So being aware of that here, Virgo, is going to be so important because it's almost like step back and take a day off. Like let yourself breathe, let yourself have fun. Like take a holiday or something like that, or just go for a walk or do something where you're not thinking about it, because then you're going to see that there's new power that comes forward. And get out of your own head. That's going to be so important, Virgo. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of, the King of Pentacles. Now, we're represented by the Pentacles in the Minor Arcana. We're represented by the Hermit in the Major Arcana. We have to be mindful of getting in our own way. Now, this is also Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So here, we have to be mindful of being so practical that we box ourselves into a corner. And following advice that is so practical that we don't get to breathe. We don't get to express. Our subconscious chakra energy is angels and masters. This is the soul star chakra located 6 inches above our crown. This is our angels being with us, which we know with the Wheel of Fortune. Our angels are untangling a lot of the messes that we've gotten into just through living. And there's a real sense of being connected, of being, of being grounded, of being protected during this time. And it connects us with divinity in just such a powerful way. It moves us to the Magician. There's a magic to us. There's a spark to us. And that's going to be something that we're kind of afraid of, because the last time we had this spark, or the last time that we really felt this confident about ourselves, it backfired. It didn't move. It didn't work. Excuse me. The way we thought it would. So being very aware of this during this time is going to be very powerful for us, because we have a spark, we have a magic, we have a certain something to us. Let it shine. Don't be afraid of it, Virgo. We then have the Five of Cups. We're going to have a tendency towards melancholy, towards looking at what isn't going right instead of what is going right, instead of the Two of Cups that stands beside us, behind us. That's the success, the prosperity. And we have to be just aware of this during this time where we're going to really beat ourselves up over what isn't going right, and it's going to have opportunities pass us by. We then have the High Priestess. A veil is being lifted from our eyes. We're seeing things so much more clearly, so much more openly, so much more honestly, that we can find it a bit overwhelming. It can be like a bit disturbing. It's like, oh my gosh, I didn't expect to see that deep, to understand that much. And then we have the Nine of Wands. Stop listening to everybody else. Everybody has an opinion. That's great. But there is a real sense of connecting with those who truly love us, who are truly a part of us. And then it's standing in our power. It's kind of putting up a wall between the naysayers and where we want to be in life. And it's really embracing our passion and our desire. But it's also giving ourselves time to breathe, time to connect, and time to really focus. Because there's something here where like we've overworked a situation. Again, like that over kneading the dough, and we need to step back from it. Because there's too many voices coming in. There's too much of like everybody saying one thing or another. So just being aware of that, Virgo, is going to be really helpful for us. Okay. All right, Virgo. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power and the intensity of this time, but also of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Virgo.